Right.
Look, let's jump across into the Western Force. We'll go straight into the significant ins and outs. Lots of changes here, really. In terms of significant ins, we've got Isaac Fines, we've got Bailey Kunzel, we've got Isaac Rodder coming from Lyon, Manassa Mateo from the Crusaders, Pasatoa also from the Brumbies. That is a lot of players coming in.
It actually sounds pretty good now that you say
it does, but a lot of them are quite young and inexperienced. So, I mean, we're going to see them build moving forward. In terms of losses, Kubeli, Kurandrani, Lance, Miotti, Lezana, Olawafela. Also a lot of losses. And when they're not the dominant side, that's a lot to lose. So there's a big transition year for them. I think now we're starting to see hopefully a team building for the future rather than getting in quick, which is what we saw in 2021, getting players to fill voids. So they've got a lot of young talent moving forward, which will develop throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the outs, we've got Kubeli, who I think is a massive loss. The best 15, I've got Tommy Robertson, Feletti Katu'u, and Santiago Medrano in the front row. I think are pretty locked in right now. I've got Isaac Rodder, Sitaleki Tamani as my locks. I know, Nelson, you thought Jeremy Thrush. Fergus Lee Warner's a chance there, but I think we're probably thinking he won't start.
I think we can say Isaac Rodder's starting, and then Sitaleki and Jeremy Thrush will share time.
They're 100%. Give them 40 minutes.
I think that's fair, yeah. I've got Fergus Lee Warner, Kengateka, and Brynard Stander at 8. The obvious question there is how much game time does Tim Arnstead get, and does he just push into 6 straight away and flick Fergus Lee? But Arnstead, he's very classy. Ian Pryor, Jake McIntyre, I've got 9 and 10. I know there's some questions about Rishjan Pasatoa, their other fly half option, just starting straight away. But McIntyre, I think just the experienced head, and I know that they don't want to just shuffle their deck of cards every single year.
They do. They had Miotti last year.
No, I know.
So what we want to see as quickly as, definitely by the end of the year, but as quickly as possible, is Isaac Fines and Pasatoa, starting.
We do.
I completely agree, but we don't.
That's an exciting halves pairing.
Week 2.
Right. Centres, we've got Bailey Kunzel will start and Kyle Godwin. I think that's fair because there's not a lot of centre depth. Richard Kahui still obviously floating around, but he played a bit of outside, bit of wing.
Richard Kahui, the 40-year-old who burnt Alex Newsom and left him for dead.
Look, he's going to fill a role, put him anywhere against the Waratahs, or he can fill the experience.
Look, we may as well put a photo up of him as well because
he's a rig.
Anyway, well, we do think that this could be Kunzel's year to get a lot more starting time, though. Manassa Mateo has probably got to be the biggest in, right? Like they just didn't have a lot of outside back finishing power. Now they've all of a sudden got this absolute weapon of an outside back who we will touch on his stats.
He must have had some family over in Perth or something because, like, I know he's getting sick of not getting constant game time with the Crusaders, but what
else would you get?
Is the Tony Pulu of a few years ago? Or we wish he had actual Australian citizenship because he is far better.
Like the Major League Rugby, where half of all the contracts are just under the table, they probably gave Manassa Mateo Twiggy's given him his own mine or something, you know what I mean? Just off the books. That's the only thing I can think of. So,
Byron Ralston, we've got it at the right wing, and Jack McGregor, we've got at 15. Obviously, you got Drake Strawn, who's got some time there as well. And Tony Pula, who just never, ever gets game time, but that's who we've gone with. Guys, key questions. How could Kunzel and Pasatoa best be used in combo with the old Gardner centres? Nelson, we're going to let you go first because Carly's kind of already hinted on what he thinks.
Look, I think Godwin is quite an experienced player. If he fills that 13 jersey, for most of the season, maybe he feels a little bit in and out of that 12 jersey. I think we need to work Kunzel into 12 from day dot. I think we need to then work in Pasatoa relatively early and back him in the long run. They've brought him across to be their long-term 10, in my opinion. He's now 20. This is his year to earn that starting jersey. I don't think it is week 1, but give him the first month, give him the first 5-6 weeks to earn himself into that starting jersey, and then I think we see him start throughout the back of the year.
All you need to know about Pasatoa is I was that excited about him. I got down and actually watched the Waratahs A play the Brumbies Runners and he tore it up like I've never seen.
He's amazing.
He is unbelievable. And I think he was 18 at the time that I was watching him do this.
He's a big unit too.
Is he 19 now or is he 20? I don't even know. But he's
20 now.
Yeah,
he's a big bloke. He is so dynamic. Like he can play wing or fullback if he wanted to, but he's got all the skills.
He's the same age as Carter Gordon, a year or two younger than Will Harrison, Ben Donaldson, that Loloseo bloke who plays 10 for the Wallabies. He's not that far behind. This is the year I think we see some of him, and I think he takes the starting jersey at some point in this year. It is difficult to know when.
And so similarly, Isaac Fines. Yeah, we're hoping that he gets
a little bit older.
A big key question is Isaac Fines versus Ian Pryor. So Ian Pryor, obviously, I don't know, is he captain now? Is he captain of the Force?
Anymore.
Not captain, but has been there with the Force since the day dot. Basically, is part of the wallpaper. But he can kick for goal. He can play 10 as well, but just not a particularly exciting player. Doesn't make a lot happen. Just stock standard. Isaac Fines, however, absolutely lights it up. He's probably the closest halfback we have in a Tate McDermott type of mold. You know what I mean? Like has an awesome running game. I just mean, can you think of anyone else? Who would you say is the most like Tate McDermott? Tate McDermott.
No. Look, I think we all agree with you. I think we all like agree with you. Let's keep pushing, mate. 3 does not fit into 2. Fergus Lee Warner, Brian Ardstander, Tim Anstey. Who would you like to see as the top 2 of those 3? Nelson.
By the end of the year, the man that misses out is Stander. Stander starts at the start of the year, so I don't know when that transition happens. Anstey has to prove himself. So for me, I like Lee Warner. Anstey ended the end of the year as the choice over Lee Warner. So you're going to have to pick which one of those 2 start in the 6 jersey, but one of them will take over Stander by the end of the year.
Yep. Okay, Craig's?
Yeah, I want Fergus Lee. Look, I mean, frankly, like open side flankers are useless. Let's just drop Kateka and have all 3 of them.
He is not them.
No. I think it'll start with Fergus Lee Warner standard at the back, and I think we might see Fergus Lee Warner and Anstey used a little interchangeably, but I think eventually we'll see Stander out of the running there, like you've said, Nils.
What would you give to bring any of the international, like the Aussie 7 open side flankers brought over to fill that open side flanker role for Western Force?
Tizzano?
Tizzano going back to the Force, mate. Oh,
guys, next question. This one's for Cargie only. Is Jake McIntyre any good?
No. And we can move on.
All right. Isaac Fines versus Ian Pryor. I think we've talked about him. The other likes. Okay, final question, guys. Other likes are Thrush, Tamani, Kahui, and Pulu. Finally, too old.
4 do not fit into this squad. You have a couple of them in your 23. That's it.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, to be honest, Thrush has been quite good, like in the last 2 years. He's old, but like he delivers.
Yeah, but you got him and Tamani swapping. That's fine.
Yeah,
but you've got Kahui, Pulu. One of those 2 at maximum can fit into that match day squad.
Okay, on to exciting things. Stocks rising. Manassa Mateo. I think we can all agree the most exciting player in the Force this year. Just give the man the ball. The strategy for the team should be give him the ball. That's literally it.
I agree, mate. Look, cast your mind back to 2018. Manassa Mateo starting on the wing for the Crusaders, and he is the 15th ranked outside back on averages. But better than that, he's the top points per minute, along with Israel Folau, dead equal at 0.72 points per minute. An absolute freak of nature when he got his opportunity back in 2018. I just hope that we could see a little bit more of that for the Western Force.
Look, he was
getting the ball.
He was very, very exciting at the back end of this season. He did get minutes throughout the back end of the year. So, I mean, he's proved he's still got it. He had a 55 points this year. So, I can't wait to see him starting week in, week out.
Wait, how old do you think he is? Because I was just thinking, I bet he's younger than we think he is.
29.
He's 25.
What?
Is that can't be right? That's
no, maybe it is right. Like,
oh my god,
that's good. He can
I just had my mind blown. I was like, I bet he's younger than I thought he is, and 25.
Can we just get rid of Pulu and give him Australian citizenship?
Wow, that's
Because I think we
amazing.
were all thinking, he's coming towards the end, his end couple of years. But no, he's 25, mate.
That's amazing. Guys, look, Stock's fallen. We had Stundar. We've already talked about that. And Smokey's Pascatoa. And I think we've talked about that as well. So let's get on to